Hi, everybody. Welcome to the poker coaching study session. This is a cash game study session where we can see all of the villains' cards so we can see how they actually play as opposed to how we think they play. This is the $1, $2 fast fold game. Our theory in fast fold games is that people are tighter in their responses to raises because they don't get impatient like they would at a regular full ring game because they can just fold and have a new and better hand in just a second. Our response to this is you can open a little wider. That's what we believe. We also think that they're going to fold to three bets a little more, or more importantly, that they're in this one where it's an anonymous field, you can three bet more often because no one will see that in your stats. And let's see how that plays out in this hand with the queen deuce offsuit in the big blind, who we believe is from Brazil. So ace eight folds correctly. The ace queen does their standard raise, and the queen deuce, who could just wait a hand for a better hand, decides not to. 18 is the right size for this. This is the wrong hand for it. Let's see how it works out for him. You'd think not very well. Ace queen checks. The Brazilian bets 1/3 pot, just under.
Yes.
And if this is probably exactly a third with the rake taken out.
Yes.
Yep, there's a third. Our ace queen just calls. My theory here is there's no reason to check raise this hand. We're either way ahead or way behind. His range is polarized, and why check raise into a polarized range? But I could be wrong about that. There's our call. See, that's not a bad thing to put in the solver. We're going to solve this one, even though he's never going to have queen deuce. So the 8 comes.
Never going to have, yeah, and we're not going to have ace queen either.
Yeah, we are. We have some calls. We have some calls with ace queen. We don't four bet all of them.
A tiny sliver.
Yeah, so I'd be interested. I would be interested seeing if the ace queen does check raise there or if it plays with that logic. That's the only thing I want to see. So there's the check. There's another third pot bet. So he bets small. He bets small. And when the deuce comes on the river, which, turns his hand marginally made, he blasts it. And that's what we're calling the Brazilian play, which is small on the flop, small on the turn, blast the river. And can you get a guy off of something even as good as ace queen? You did that time. Congratulations. All right, let's just put this in the solver just to see if it's a check raise on the flop and if the spade draw makes a difference to whether you check raise that, whether it's there or not. So you got that? You can set that up, Larry?
Okay.
Okay, and we'll go on to the next hand and then we'll come back to it. Congratulations, villain 2. All right, now we're going to go back into big blinds. It should be fold, ace 8 here on the button. Scott,
yep.
Raise this.
It's cut off.
This pure.
You can.
Raise this pure. Raise this pure, mix ace 7, and do a lot of ace 5. Okay, there we go. There's a raise and a take it. Good.
So king 8 and ace 8 offsuit is in the cutoff. Like, right? I know we went over
king 9,
king 8.
ace 8, and some king 9 is my memory.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Scott, are you able to filter the hands?
Yes.
So all the pre-flop fold and take it is eliminated. So we only see hands make the flop.
We could do that. Yeah, we can start doing that. Let me
I don't know. I don't know if we want to do that though, because sometimes it's good to see some of the wider ranges, some of the tighter ranges.
Yeah, what are people folding?
Yeah.
We get
I'm
to
just,
so
with the fast game, it's just like there's a lot of raise and take it's in the fast game.
That's true. That's true.
I'm ready when you are, Scott.
Okay, yeah, let's see it. Let's see it.
All right, so can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna have a sliver of this. So when we get 3-bet, here's our reaction to the 3-bet. So we get slivers of calling with ace queen. What's interesting to me is that we've got these shoves, but we're never putting aces and kings into that range. So it's kind of interesting that our second tier hands in 3-bet blind versus blind have their shoves coming from the second tier. So we are first let's look and see who's winning this battle. Yeah, so things get really weird here, because if you look at these ranges, I mean, look at all the trash that big blind's supposed to 3-bet blow.
Yeah,
And so, and compare that, so so big blind has at the beginning of the hand, big blind in theory has 4 times as many combos as small blind defending the 3-bet. And especially when he's calling, right? Because all of his bluffs are gonna be the 4-bet range.
Yeah.
So he's got a super condensed range here. So small blind checks pure. Doesn't have any.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any donks. And we, on this board, we've got lots of small bets, which is what we saw.
yep.
Naughty villain. And
Hold
I,
on,
you know,
where's the queen deuce? I don't see the queen deuce there. Let me play the queen deuce.
and he is using these small bets. He only has a small bet. He's using us across his entire range, right?
Yeah.
So,
He does bet check to suited, so
yeah, I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of equivalents to what.
Yeah.
He has a lot of equivalents. He's got king 5 off.
Queen 5 off.
Yeah, he's got queen 5 in the sliver.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of equivalents here. So, so he chose to be 25, right?
Yeah.
B33, but 25 is what we've got.
Yeah.
The next one, not there.
That's the small
I'm
blind.
sorry. Yeah, so you be 25s.
Yeah.
Now the question is, what's our check raise? Does this fall into our check raise range? It's very top of our range.
Yay, almost never.
And it does not. So what are we, there might be, I'm curious.
Flush draws, maybe we could check raise.
No, we can check raise this hand really easily.
Well-
It's ace queen. We're playing it for the trap. We want to keep his bluffs in.
We're at the top of our range in a lot of ways. Our check raises are mostly composed by sets. And then with our,
The
Two
our
pair.
Pair.
yeah, 2-pair.
Okay.
We're
And
not,
bluffs are all spades, I assume? Or are there any diamond bluffs in there?
so, are we ever check raising our FDs? We are a little bit here in this.
but not
one.
much, right? Since the ace is on the board, I'm guessing.
Jack 10 really likes to do it, which makes sense. Jack 10 wants to generate folds.
Okay.
Okay, does that answer your questions on this node?
Just roll over any one of the suited ones, and I just want to. Oh, it's only showing us that. Do we do it with the backdoor flush draw ever? That's what I wanted to see.
I would assume maybe no.
A lot less.
Yep, a lot less, but it happens.
It does happen.
Right.
And you'd like to have the backdoor straight draw to go with it? Yeah, you need a
Yeah,
back-
yeah, so so if you.
Yeah.
So
You
like.
need a backdoor
down
straight draw to
here-
go.
Less.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Okay,
Since we're here, let's see if the Brazilian line is actually solver approved for the queen 5 or some hand like that he does it with.
sure, so we're gonna call, are we on the right note? Yeah, we're gonna call with our sliver.
Yep.
Of ace queen.
I would think that Brazilian line will probably fall off on the turn.
Yeah, I'm never betting following up on this. It's just like, it didn't work.
Nope.
8 of clubs, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm guessing that any bet he has is going to be polarized.
8 of clubs,
we then check again. With our ace
yeah,
queen.
we've got significant leads here.
I
Uh,
didn't see that in game. I didn't think the 8 of clubs would be a card to lead.
Must be an equity shifting card, so,
Right.
yeah, I mean, so that's my theory is that, so here when we call. Our equity out of position is 49%. Turn comes an 8. And it shifts in our favor just a bit.
It does.
Well, yeah, because after we call, because we folded out the bottom hands.
So
That's
this is pre, right? This is after we call.
no, that's after the big blind bets.
Right, that's our equity that we have.
Well, that, okay, so this is after the flop, right?
Yeah, before our action.
This is us calling. Goes down
Yeah.
because we're calling.
No, it
that-
goes
Eight
down. because the
comes,
big blind- it
and
goes
then
down
this
because
Oh,
the
that-
big-
Larry,
It shoots, yes,
let me explain for a second. Click small blind again,
which
The-
part of the tree?
where we called on the flop. Okay, that equity is before we act. So we have 49% over our whole range after the big blind bets and before we act. When
Okay,
we
all right.
call, we're dropping out our weakest hand. So our equity is going to go up just by calling because we have more equity with the hands we call.
Not because of the 8 of clubs. Now we see the 8 of clubs change.
Yes, your point.
No,
Yeah,
now
you're
now
right.
we see the change. Now we see the change. We don't see, we never see the pure 8 of clubs change.
Exactly.
Right,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you're right, you're right.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I see your point.
Right.
You're correct. So after we call, so it's 54, so it's hard to know. We'd have to play around with the cards, with the equity shifting cards are. So we can assume this is an equity shifting card because we have leads. I mean, that.
Yeah.
Agree on that? I mean, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
One heuristic we have is that all of a sudden we get donks, we have a card that shifts equity.
Yeah, but I did not expect the 8 of clubs to shift equity like that in
Yeah,
when we get the hand.
yeah. So,
Enough
See-
that we put it on.
so
Do you believe we still have donk? Excuse me. If the villain bets larger, like 50% on the flop, do you think that changes?
we can check. You want to check real quick?
Well,
How
maybe
often
not.
is he?
That condenses his range.
Yeah, that's the point. That's what Skate is asking. If his range against the condensed range of a 50% bet, do we have any donks? Mm,
We have a lot less donks.
Goes way down.
Yeah, it goes
Yeah,
way down.
That's interesting.
All right, so he bets 25, he bets 25. Turn comes, we check our ace queen.
We check our, yeah, so we check our ace queen,
And he bets really small again.
Right,
so, and yeah, it just doesn't happen in real world.
Yeah, he
He-
should be polarizing anything he bets here.
yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't have anything that's, the line doesn't exist. Okay,
But, I think it's a very interesting exploit. And
But
I
the
hope.
king- yeah.
I hope to have enough balls to employ it.
Mm.
Do we want to go through this line? Do we want to continue to go through this trade
because
here?
because the king 5 and the queen 5 do continue to make this line. The king 5 offsuit does it, the queen
Yeah,
5.
so let's go down to. Okay, well, let's look at breakdown first. Yeah, the bottom of his yeah, the bottom of his range is continuing to have.
Yeah, but
It's-
we're going to pretty much break the solver if we give him a 25% bet because that doesn't exist.
We're not
Yeah, we're
going,
not gonna
we're gonna
do
give him
that.
the big bet. We're gonna
We're
give
gonna
him,
give him, we're just gonna go through this as though, we're a solver approved line. And we're gonna look at other parts of the range that are what they're doing. So, yeah, these are no equity, but he's continuing. And I think you're gonna see this more blind versus blind than you would in a lot of other configurations because ranges are so what, right?
Yeah.
So ranges, so I think the term that Peter Clark uses, the origin ranges are so wide that you're gonna continue to have hefty amount of bluffs. And also, this is a super polarized strat, right? With all these middling hands, which have some semblance of showdown, are just checking. There's no merging here with the solver. Okay, so if we use if we're gonna use the solver for sizing of a P75, let's just make it more interesting, go to a pot size. And yeah, none of our, so our aces do begin to get shook. Right?
but not ace queen.
but not the very top of our range. And this has a lot to do with blocker properties. So I'm surprised. Obviously, we're calling.
Right.
I wonder why the ace 10 clubs is so weak. Anyway,
Yeah, so
Um,
now that now that
let's
we've
look-
seen that, well, we know we do there. Give the big blind that 25 that he has only 1.2% of the time. Let's make him, we can follow it. It's not going to totally break the solver. It doesn't make sense against his hand, but nothing does. So that's the other thing about this solve. This solve makes no sense against this player because this player is not playing what the.
you want to give imposition of B25?
Yeah, and then give him the blast on the river.
It gets it with ace 2.
King six, six suited.
So
Yeah.
B25?
Yep.
Now do we check raise is the question.
Nope.
No, we're just calling.
We let him continue to hang himself or to.
Let's see if we get any, let's see. So this is interesting. So Queen Jack is not
What's
going
that?
to begin to XR the sizing.
Never.
It's got a straight draw.
Yeah, it's got a gutter. What about, and well, gutter and we have a potential gutter and a combo draw. I might
It-
find it with the queen.
It's a gutter and two overs the second pair.
Yeah,
Yep. And the Jack 10
Okay.
doesn't want to do it because the Jack 10 is too good. It doesn't want to get check raised off. I mean, it doesn't want to get 3-bet off too often.
all right, so none of our. Okay, now. He used the weird sizing on. River, he used like
1.5x.
yeah, so. Pure checking,
Yep.
yeah, if he's gonna take this line, we're gonna say
Yeah,
shove,
we'll call
right?
it all in. We'll call it all
Yeah.
in.
Cause that's really the way to do this.
See what the line is.
Yeah.
Small shove.
Yeah.
We're just not folding. We begin to get shook.
Yeah.
Top pair.
Ace set. Oh, sorry. I'm crazy. Okay.
But let's see what all of a sudden what our EV is calling. Yeah, so kickers are so important here. So so our EV of calling ace queen is 5 chips, but then it very quickly descends to a bluff catch.
All right, go back to the ace queen. Our equity drops tons if we have a club.
I mean, that kind of makes sense because we don't have ace king. We would have 4-bet that, and then we could both have essentially ace in the same hand. So,
Yep.
Why fold?
Yep. And if he does bet
Yeah.
if he bets the smaller size, the 61, do we check raise the ace queen? I'm still not doing it. I'm still just check calling.
So
Same.
the thing I think I'm taking away from this mostly from our work with these top pairs and looking at them more closely that we've been doing is that kicker is just really important with your ace X
Mm-hmm.
in solver land. What
Yeah,
else are
it
we
likes
calling with? Let's look at our threshold.
the queen, the king, and of course the ace kicker is the best.
Yeah, so our threshold really is like these middling pairs.
Yeah. Nothing other than nothing other than an ace. There isn't.
Yeah, so yeah, we're folding our worst aces and then we fold all our kings to the sides.
And all our nines. Those are nines is how.
Oh,
they got it.
sorry. All our nines.
And of course our flush draws. So give him the 61 before we go on, 61%.
Hey, Larry, what are those no draws? What is that
I'm
no
here.
draw? Yeah, what are those hands? Oh, they're still aces. Okay.
Ace X. So you want to give big blind,
His
what should be his size?
the biggest,
on-
the 87% on the river.
On the
Just-
river, you want to give him
His
a
non
B87?
And I assume we just call more aces. But now we do check raise the queen. Now we go, no, the queen needs to be all in.
Yeah, queen is good enough to go on.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah, let's go top pair.
Yeah, those are our two pairs.
Top pair. Yeah. So these are our top pairs. So the ace queen is good enough, which makes sense, right? It's gonna cooler all the other ace sets.
Hmm.
And it doesn't care about, and I guess it's because here, big blind should be, yeah. Big blind doesn't possess ace king if it uses
Right.
this sizing. Ace king is a shoved here.
Cool. Anything else on that hand? I liked that. That clarified
Yeah,
thing for me.
yeah, anybody else want to see anything? I can't think of anything I'd like to see.
Okay,
Nah,
Nope.
all right, here we go.
I think the horse is dead.
Then we have this. We have an ace, the ace queen raise and a king nine offsuit defend.
Alright, I wanna, can I kick the horse one time?
Yeah.
Going back to the Brazilian play that we saw. Does it make sense to you gents to implement this exploit?
I wouldn't do it.
And that's
What,
fine.
like you
It-
mean like
it-
the Brazilian play?
Yeah,
It works, but I think his range wants to size up on the turn. So if you do this with too much of the range, you're actually going to lose some value.
You're gonna be over. Well,
so he had a plan from the beginning, right? He clearly
Yeah.
had a plan from the beginning that he was going to use this play. And he's probably planning on using it on any ace high board that where the straight or flush doesn't complete. And maybe on king high board where the straight or flush doesn't complete. That's my take. Do you guys agree?
I don't know if he's limiting it to those boards, but I agree that when he did this, he had a plan
Yeah.
right there. This is where he decided to implement his plan.
And we've seen this twice that I can remember when we've been going through this. And I would imagine this is a stable at 200 NL that is teaching this.
Yep.
And
And
it
I-
works.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it was against me and he had queen three offsuit. And kept looking at it over and over again. Do I fold the ace here or do I fold pocket queens? I think it was pocket queens that I had.
Yeah,
And-
that was he used it, he 4-bet in that game, if I recall.
Something, yeah. All right, that's that. And we are on.
I like that play. I think I'm going to try it.
yep.
Let
I
us
mean,
know. Remember to
I-
say at the end, if he folds, you remember to say obrigado.
It works
Obrigado.
more profitable way to play your hands.
I see your point.
Yeah.
But I would argue it's not a more profitable way to play your hands if you've got no equity.
Generate the thing. Ace queen raises, king nine chooses to defend. Check. He bets medium, so half pot. You can't.
That's too
Third.
large.
Say again?
That's too large board.
Yeah, the board has locked up equity. He's also a broken stack.
Closer to 2.
Yeah, yep. But even at this size, I don't think the nine king can fold. He has a pair and a draw to the intelligent end of the straight. So I think he's got to lose at least 3 big blinds, especially when he gets there.
Oh, and that's such.
And does he donk out? No. Does the ace queen figure out that he's now marginally made? Yes. And then he bets the river and gets whatever and gets 9 big blinds from the ace queen. Oh, doesn't even get that.
That's
Should
a
have
good
bet the turn.
I don't know. This is always the hard play for me, is as out of position when you have this. Do you basically turn your cards face up and say, I haven't, or I'm bluffing?
I know.
I
It's
know,
like with the flush draw there, like I'm kind of wary if I had king nine.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
This is all in range. Does anybody want to see this? When king
If-
nine,
whether he should raise, because or if he should dunk.
yeah,
I'm not sure he should dunk on that card
on the river or on the turn?
on the turn.
Yeah,
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good to see. I think it's
Yeah.
something we should see if
Yeah.
we should be done with a four liner.
Yeah, this is meaningful. All right.
Yeah, with the flush draw.
You ready for this? Larry?
Can you bring up the both count? Can you bring up? Yeah, that's what I, hold on
There
one
it is.
second.
Tell me when you're ready to move on, and I shall. Yeah, I find this a hard spot. I mean, when I say hard, I mean, what's the right way to get the money, not hard to decide. I like having the second nuts.
All right, go ahead. Thanks. I'll get this set up. We'll come back to it.
Okay, here we go. Doing,
So it was a SRP, right?
yep, just single red pot, button versus big blind, bread and butter stuff. All right. Jack seven suited is too early. I should fold this. The ace seven should be raising about a quarter of the time in the cutoff. If it were
Yep.
me, I would fold it. And the jack nine on the button should be raising a lot of the time, all the time. Certain I'm gonna do it, but he doesn't.
I would do it all the time,
Yeah, I'm gonna do jack nine all the time there.
but I would do it all the time.
All right. 9-10 should raise
Did-
on the button.
Did
and
I mention more
ace three
aggressive darts?
Yeah, be more aggressive. Ace three should raise, 9-10 should fold, queen jack should defend, and the queen jack suited against the hijack. I probably have some three bets with this against the hijack. Let's see if this is one of the times. This is. Yay.
Wait, what did he raise with?
He raised ace three, and I three bet him with queen jack suited.
I don't know if he should fold there.
Oh, I hope he shouldn't.
There should be some mixes of four bets.
Oh, that would be bad. All right, let's see. He's hijack. Hijack raises, and he raises to just two, not to 2.0. So let's see if I've got that GTO size here.
No, I think it's like 2.2 or 2.3 from
Yeah.
there.
It's closer. Oh, no, two. There we go. Get it right on there. There's a two. Now the small blind in response to that, queen jack suited can call or raise. I do a raise. I go to 10 instead of 11 because I didn't know that 11 is the right amount. And then back to him.
Oh, it is all fold.
Yeah, it's the 11, it's the inflated three bet from the small blind. The big blind is also big. Fold there.
I four bet you there.
Mine goes all the way to 12.3. Well, I was gonna call you if you four bet me, I think. And then you were gonna have to win it on the flop, which you were gonna. So there's the raise. Here's Joey in there with his ace five suited, four bets it to 22. No. If I looked at the chart, I would fold the king, queen, I would fold the queen jack. Well played, Joey. Glad you weren't there. All right, you got this, Larry?
1 second. I just gotta work them real
All right,
quick.
that's fine. Keep going. All right. Fold, raise, ace eight, 100% of the time in the cutoff. Yeah, raise it 100% of the time. King jack in the small blind, mostly fold. Oh, and he makes it extra big. So there's your extra big skate. I don't know what it means, but there's a guy doing it. He
What?
wants a
Oh.
fold. He's looking for an extra fold and he gets it.
Okay.
All right, ready when you are, sir.
All right, ready?
I want to make an argument for maybe folding ace eight offsuit in the cutoff live. Maybe, being a little bit tighter.
Okay,
Playing ace nine plus.
okay.
All right, so
Mixing with ace eight.
so our big blind has king nine off, and our in position player has ace queen off, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just look. I think my guess this flop is going to favor in position. It does mostly.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty big
Yeah,
equity
little
gap for these very I mean, they've got shit ton of, to use a technical term, a shit ton of combos that they're playing in these configurations. So, this is gonna be a pure check. Pure check. What did villain do in game?
Villain, I think this was check behind, wasn't it?
We're
Mhm.
contemplating
It was ace
counterfactual
queen,
bets.
it was ace queen, king nine.
I- Flop.
Check,
He
no,
went-
he bet,
And
Was
I-
it-
Yeah, villain
he
bet
bet,
flop.
he bet too big, he bet half pot. That was the discussion. We thought his bet size was too big,
Uh, he gets some.
right? And with this hand, yeah, okay.
I mean, this, I think, the other thing we're seeing here is that, look at all these fucking combos.
Yeah.
It's just like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what we're seeing over and over again is that on flop, in positions play usually is across the entire range, right? He's mixing these sizes and, this mixes sizes across his entire range.
So
So-
we're not betting range on this board, but almost every hand in our range can bet, almost,
And-
has some
And
bet.
yeah, the heuristic I'm getting from our study is that that's the most common play on flop. Is that if you have mixed sizing, it's gonna be from every part of the range.
Mhm. Yeah.
Alright, and he chose a
Okay,
B
like the one
fifty.
but it's clear the ones you do with the least. Those clearly defined, marginally made, ace nine, eight, eight, seven, seven, six, six, five, five.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, let's look
Those
at
are the
second,
Those are the ones that are doing it the least.
let's look at second pair real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You have a good
Bad
point.
jacks.
So when we filter, we get to see bet sizes for that particular hand class.
Mhm.
And yeah, you're right. I mean, so we are checking mostly, but then we do have bets. And then we also, so the way that, Nick explained this to me is that often when we have different bet sizes, we're going to mostly bet the equity of our hand. But then we're going to take a portion and mix in a portion of the other sizings from the other equity classes into this equity class. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Alright,
No, but I'm gonna watch the replay.
Like the
you.
jack makes perfect sense because it's second pair plus an open ender.
Yeah.
And king 10, queen 10. Well, queen 10's a straight.
yeah, we flopped it.
Or no, king 10's a straight. I mean,
But king, jack,
But yeah, we can also see it here, right? So when we flop the nuts, we're pulling from every portion of the sizings on the flop. And then I think we're gonna see us become more polarized as we go through the hand.
and I'm gonna very quickly try to say what Nick said in slightly different words and then move on, maybe to make it clear to skate. So you're a computer. You don't care how complicated things are. And you decide you're gonna bet multiple sizes on a flop. The first thing you do, you go, of the hands that fit the hands classes that want to bet, on my value side, not on my bluff side. On my value side, I go, with this hand, I want to bet this size. So you do that and you start by doing, of the hands that want to bet that size, you put those in those buckets. And then you spread out everything else into those buckets. So each bucket has the right percentage of value and bluff and merged hands. If you're going to bet your bottom pair in the expensive bucket, you're going to do it because it has an additional value of a straight draw in it. So, and you do that to make yourself not predictable.
Yeah, like for example, 9-10.
Yeah, so it can spread it that way. Yep, exactly. All right.
So if you wanna see someone do this in real time, so
Okay.
CG who, streams most days, Cash, he is a disciple, an adherent of GTO Wizard. So he is attempting to play a game almost entirely solver based. With very few exploits. So every single move he makes, every single action he makes he's randomizing.
Oh,
And he
boy.
is so much adhering to solver-based play from the GTO wizard perspective that he even uses all the same sizings. So so in this situation, if he had ace queen, he's gonna think about what sizings ace king would have available in this texture. And then he's gonna roll a randomizer to decide what sizing to use in game. So,
Boy, I don't want to play against him.
yeah, well, he's not winning yet on ACR. We'll see.
Okay. They're good enough.
Um,
All right.
okay, so the B50 is definitely a thing.
So he B50s it, totally reasonable with the ace queen. And the king nine,
We can see that in solver, but it is very difficult to try to implement at the
Yeah,
table.
oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's incredibly difficult. And so
none of us are gonna do it.
he is, I mean, he's a workaholic and he's worked very hard on this. I mean, it's very interesting. It's very informative and instructive to watch because you're seeing someone play a mostly theoretically best game. But it'd be hard for any of us to implement unless we dedicated our lives to it,
And
which
also,
essentially he has done.
you have to remember, I always stress learning GTO. Anybody who says don't bother with GTO because nobody plays GTO, I am so against that. But you have to remember that we shouldn't, because we learn GTO, we should not play GTO against the opponents we play against.
Mhm.
We just
Yeah.
needed a starting point to know which direction to go to exploit them.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean, I think solver-based play is a lot about learning the mechanics.
Yeah.
Like which hand class do we check raise a lot here?
Yep.
Like
It
we're
also
check
tells-
raising king 10 suited a lot here. It's a straight.
It's also teaching us about blockers, about suited blockers that we just would never get any other way.
Yeah.
So I-
Another argument for, kind of deviating from GTO when you exploit, if you're exploiting correctly, is that your win rate is going to be effective more massively against the people you exploit. Where I think it was probably Brad Wilson, probably somebody like that, basically saying 80% of your win rate will come from the bad players that you exploit versus 20% versus the good players you're playing GTO against.
Yeah, that's a really good point. A great majority of our profit is going to come from people making mistakes.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to exploit people. Like playing GTO perfectly is like maybe left for the higher stakes, like the lower stakes you get, blockers become less important because opponents are not playing in as near as GTO style. So yeah,
I don't think blockers are not as important, but we'll move on.
All right.
The rest of what you
not as relevant.
yeah,
I
the
guess.
rest of what you said, the rest of what you said is true about the GTO. I think the block are still as important. So this
No,
here,
I-
nine offsuit, my prediction was right.
Um,
You need
can-
the king of diamonds to do the raise.
Yeah,
Next.
I don't know the whole reasoning why. I know I heard a pro say that blockers are pretty much not relevant at lower stakes.
Could be true.
They are, however,
Yeah.
you have to be able to assess because the blockers are not the same. You can't use the same GTO blockers versus somebody who's not reacting GTO.
Right.
Exactly.
If you think you have a flush draw blocker, but the person who plays the way he played the hand never has a flush draw, that blocker is irrelevant at that time.
Right.
I see what you mean. Like it's relevant to a point. Like if there's a king of clubs on the board, ace of clubs, jack of clubs, 10 of clubs. I mean, it's like a certain position against certain position. Like yeah, they're not going to have any flushes, etc. That kind of thing.
So in this one, our king nine does a lot of check calling. And the only time we're check raising is with the king of diamonds, and even then we're not doing it all the time.
Yeah, so it's just talking about blockers, how important it is to have the blocker to his calls with the king high flush.
And
Okay,
also to have the backdoor, and also to have the backdoor for yourself.
And a backdoor for yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's get to the turn, because that's where we,
Roll
All
over
the-
the ace ten suited before you go to the turn.
Sorry? You
Roll
wanna
over
look
ace
over?
10
Okay,
suited.
sure.
Ace ten suited.
Suited, not offsuit.
Sorry.
Oh. Suited.
And yeah, even offsuit you can see. I just wanted to see the diamonds frequency of check raising there. Okay.
Let's see what our, now you got me interested. Let's
They like
see
a
what
roll-
our
roll
flush
flush
draw
draw
nuts
is
are
good.
doing.
Yeah, I don't think we want to check raise. We want to realize, right?
You can check raise the royal flush draw.
Yeah.
Yep, you can.
Yeah, all of your
100%
nuts.
of the time, but
All
yeah,
of your nuts.
all of them have some raises.
Okay. Button versus big line.
Oh, it doesn't call ace ten suited a flush draw nuts because it's a combo draw. It's gonna show up here.
I think if you look, you'll see that the lower the flush draw, the more aggressive you will start out with the tens.
Right. You want to get the better folds, I guess.
Yeah. If you bluff with 10 high and they fold a king high, you win.
Yeah.
You don't
Okay.
always need to bluff your ace 10. Sometimes it just wins.
Yeah.
So villain in hand, okay, villain in game did not have a diamond. So he just called, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the turn
And
is
this is
the
what
10
funded.
of clubs, right?
Yeah,
Does he have any dunks?
Do we see
And-
an equity shift?
I don't know.
there's a huge
When the
equity.
four-liner comes in. He does not.
Why? Because a villain could still have ace king, I guess.
Well, it's more
Yeah.
about range versus range, right? So here. We could see. Here we've got. Button's got the equity advantage, right?
Mhm.
Significantly. 10 of clubs comes. It
And it-
does slightly shift now to the big blind, but I guess not enough for a donk.
Makes this even.
Yeah. So our theory is that, well, not our theory, what we've been taught in classes is that if you have a significant equity shift of range versus range skate, then you're gonna see donks.
But that has to be, but you have to go all the way
Okay.
to get an advantage. If you were,
Yeah, and I
you
think
were a
also
big
what's
dog-
happening here
Yeah.
is that we both have the same, well, button does have, well, button has more straights, which is gonna reduce,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the button has more top end equity.
yeah,
They have more
So-
eights, kings, kind of
yeah,
thing.
and you can see it here. Yeah, the button has more, has a nut advantage,
Yeah.
so we're not gonna get donks.
Right.
Yeah,
So
big blind has big blind has a much better marginal hand equity because he folded everything that wasn't at least marginal, whereas the big blind, where the button still has bluffs.
if you go back to ranges, let me show you something. The big blind's advantage is at the bottom end of the range.
yeah, that's a good point.
And once it gets to the middle, then it shifts to the button advantage.
Yeah, you can see why there's no donks on this now.
And the
Makes sense.
narration of that makes total sense, which is the button still has bluffs, the big blind doesn't. And the big blind, and in this particular case, most of the big blind's draws just picked up some equity. All his straight
Yeah.
draws, all his straight draws have at least a pair. You know, if he was open-ended, he has a pair now. All right. So we check. The ace queen now, I think is gonna check. I don't know if it checks pure, but I mean, I'm checking it. Yeah, checks pure.
Pure.
Yeah, so this is interesting. So the ace queen is now just like shook. What's its equity here? So here. Equity in ace queen is. 71%, and then after we get the four liner. Plummets to 40%.
And now I don't understand why ace jack and ace 10 want to bet now. They want to get a queen to, they want to get the other guy's queen to fold?
Makes
My
no
only
sense.
answer would be, let's see what the equity is. It's a bluff.
Yeah, they want to, they want to turn a pair into a bluff there.
We should be able to see it in breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at all this, all, when the four liner comes in, look at all these bluffs.
Their middle and bottom pair are no longer showdown hands.
Yeah, yeah, well put, yeah. And I think this is gonna be driven by the fact that who has more, do we figure out who has more straights here? He's got, yeah, in position has more straights
And
because it has more king X. That's
betting
what.
jacks and nines.
And
Or
also, button
it blocks-
has the uber nuts, which is the ace king, which small blinds upsets. So then we get to all of a sudden do a lot of bluffing. Maybe it's also because, no, that doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, go ahead. What were you saying, Joey?
oh, blocking or betting like jacks, tens, and nines. It also blocks sets.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so we're blocking sets here.
We're
Look
blocking.
at sixes and fives.
Sixes
So
and
I think our wide betting range here is driven by the fact that, yeah, we've got more sets. I'm sorry, we've got more straights. And so we've got the nut advantage, which allows us to pull a greater portion of our range into our bluff range.
But the sixes and fives are betting larger too.
Right. But also normalize this. I think we have the sixes and fives almost never. So,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
normalized. They'll probably
Yeah,
be
yeah.
slivers.
yeah, they're gonna be such slivers.
Yeah, they almost don't exist.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we don't get to the turn, right?
We have more twos, threes, and fours.
I think sixes and fives and sevens, they're like 99% checking on the flop.
So, now the other question was, check, be appropriately checked, understanding the plummet in value of his hand.
Hmm.
What are all his queens doing? Let's look at,
Two pairs still bets.
all his queens check. I think two pair bets because it can improve a lot. Well, not a lot, but it can improve at some frequency to, boat.
Full house, yeah.
Two pair does some betting and it has to be the best two pair, you know, and it's linearly with the kicker.
And also here it can improve to a boat. Gets
Yep.
to bet.
So-
So we get check, right? And then total brick. Two of spades.
Yeah.
Now the other question is, do the straights donk?
They might donk
Well,
because
it's not a
they're
donk
gonna
now.
donk everything.
They bet.
They might be betting to
I
to
would
bluff
need
everything.
to. And look at the sizing.
I am.
So the king is betting. There's a lot of traps, but all right, can we talk about population exports here? How often do we want to trap our straights here?
I think not often because on a four liner, they're not gonna. They're gonna want to bet the best one and check back the worst.
Yeah, I agree. So I think if it goes check, or check, out of position checks. I don't think we can rely on population to find enough bluffs on a full iron.
Yep, I don't think.
I
they're
could be wrong now. I'm curious what you guys think. That's why I'm asking you that.
Maybe a bit independent. Mostly just bet for value. You don't want to leave money on the table.
Yeah, but again, we're talking about a fast fold where we don't know, so we don't have villain dependency here, so we're just kind of basing it on population. That's tough.
Yeah, I don't play these Zoom games, so
Mike, what are you doing here with the very top of your range, which is the king X?
After he went check, I'm betting. I'm not checking.
Yeah, I would do it this, I would simplify it this way. Bet
For
all
the
the
same
kings.
reason you said.
Yeah, bet all the kings, check all the eights.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan.
At the
Yeah,
end,
so
you've got-
we are going to bet, we're gonna bet out our our straights here.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, I
Uh,
think one we can look is give the big blind a check, and you'll see how much the button is supposed to bet on the four liner.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, well, how much the button is, how much in position?
Actually,
bet-
I'm betting with the lower straight and with the higher straight out of position because when a villain checks turn, they don't have any straight. Or wait, maybe I'm wrong.
They might check the ace king. Some of them who think it's so fun to be tricky.
With
They might, but
yeah,
Let's go back and see
true.
if it is.
yeah, they might.
Just with the flush draw, I see that
Yes.
happening less often, maybe.
Yeah. There's that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so button should, yeah, so that's a good point. Button should never check this because he gets, so a king X with the big
Yeah.
blind can never fold.
Yeah.
So you never check the even nuts here.
But he does have some straights where he is checking.
Yes.
the lower ones,
And I think these are driven
both.
by, well, I think here,
They're both checking.
I'm trying to figure out why king jack and king nine
They block full houses from coming in.
check, and I think they check because a set has to bet in position here. And so they
Yeah.
get valued from sets. So they like to, yeah, so they're checking because
Or
I don't know, I'm wrong. My
have-
life doesn't work out when I say it out loud.
No, here's
Well-
here's the one that makes sense out loud. The reason you can check there is you block their full house draws from coming in.
We're on the river, so
Oh,
we're on the river here.
oh, never mind. I have nothing to say.
no,
Yeah, so
if we check, they could bet with the sets. They could bet with two pairs after it goes check, check, check on the turn, and you check to them on the river.
So then the
But-
question for me becomes, why are we checking at some frequency with these straights? And we're betting full with these
Because-
straights. Does it have some kind of deal? It has, we're blocking sets
Because-
here.
Those hands. Oh. I see what you mean. The other kings would have more value in checking because they don't block.
Yeah,
The-
they're unblocking.
The bets, Salwa said it. The ones that bet all the time unblock their bluff catchers. When you bet with a king eight, a king seven, when you bet with a king, any king, you want to
Wow.
be called by a queen and a jack.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Good point,
So
Solo.
let's make it easy for him to be, and let's make it easy for him to have a bluff catcher that he's not going to bet.
And then bluff himself.
So I know you don't put stuff in chat very often, but when you do, it's very sage.
It's the right one. Yep. Nice.
Okay, so we're gonna, do we want to see what he has to call? What size did he use?
No,
again?
we want to see when we check, what does he have to bet? And
Okay.
so if your opponents aren't, can you go for the check raise? Let's see what your opponent, see what your opponent should bet and then see how much they do, in our opinion.
Check. What does he bet? So he bets.
All
Does
the
he
straight-
bet it's pairs?
Everything-
So I have to clear this.
He bets almost every. Oh, what
Sorry.
mode did you on?
I'm unfiltered now.
Yeah.
So big blind checks. This is button's reaction. So button is,
Button's supposed to bet ace five.
he checks everything. He checks everything except his straights. On a four line.
Makes sense. Why
Not-
bluff?
But he
So
doesn't,
he's got
no, he
straights
bluffs
and
a
he's got
ton.
bluff. He bets straights and he bluffs air.
right?
But then he has all those bluffs down the end.
Yeah.
Down the,
Yeah, so let's just do it this way. I think you guys like it better. So he goes. So no main hand and ace high. So all this stuff is betting.
And they're not.
Ace high he thinks has a semblance of showdown against big blind's super wide range. So he's gonna check that some. But these have no showdown, so he's betting these pure. And he's gotta mimic his value, right? So these are all gonna be shoves.
6-7 is gonna be the missed diamond, right? 6-7.
Yeah, missed
Yes.
diamonds in
Yeah, the
there.
missed. Yeah.
And hearts. Yep.
And the
No.
missed backdoor.
It's
And
not
he's
gonna
using,
shove.
he's
That's
not
true.
actually, he's betting, he's not betting, he's not shoving, he's betting. He's over
Yeah.
betting like the B132.
Ours like 8 to 1 up there.
I like it.
So you have those checks in the big blind because you want to get these bluffs, and I don't think you're getting these bluffs.
I agree.
Nope.
But Sola said that you're blocking his bluff catchers with the king, queen, king, jack, king tens.
Right. So those are the ones you can go with it, go for the check raise on sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, check and then hope he
Yeah.
bluffs off the bottom end and catch that.
Right.
If he bets with a straight, it's going to go all in. If he doesn't have a straight, he's probably going to fold to any raise.
So do we want to see? Oh, we already did. So let's just, okay, last thing. This is an interesting hand. Last thing, does he
Like
have? Go ahead.
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Does he have differing sizes with his straight filters? Yeah, he's got a little bit of blocker here. Like, well, he's got a B59.
Yeah, mostly half pot and up.
Yeah, he's got a 6.5.
B59 is not a blocker.
Correct.
The B3 is a blocker bet.
I was curious if you had any blocker sizings with the straight.
Yeah, he does, but it's B3.
He does. So if he uses the blocker, for instance, what do we have to call off with? And do we ever come up with crazy? So let's go to top pair. We just call. Over pair. Fold. Two pair, just call. And then we do get some bluffs with like second pair and third pair. Bluff shoves with second pair and third pair. Like our 10-7 is going to turn itself into a bluff sometimes. That blocker sizing. Anybody on the chat ever, after it goes check, check on turn, everybody on the chat ever turning their top of range into a blocker sizing?
I have. I don't know if it's ever been correct, but yeah,
You-
I've tried to induce.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I've done it. I usually
Yeah.
do, yeah.
When I've
If
done
you're-
it, I've been trying to induce, not a raise.
blocker bet. If you're going to have anything in range that's a blocker bet, you should always have like a roll on top of range. It could be as low as like 25% or something. Like if you want to use the suit of the card or whatever your randomizer is.
Yeah.
Because there are people out there who specifically are trying to sniff out blocker bets. That is,
And-
we know that there are people out there doing that exploit.
Yeah, I mean, this is a BSTI is something I'd like to use more.
Yeah, we've seen that. And my blocker,
right.
I would be doing blocker bet size to induce a call, not even to induce a raise. Not hoping for that much, just going, oh, call me with something. Give me 3 big blinds at least.
Anything else you guys want to see in this hand?
Too late.
But
Yes.
remember that if you show down the nuts after betting 3,
Mhm.
the next time you have the nuts, you have to overbet.
Yeah.
Because now they got you pegged. If you have a strong hand, you bet small, and the big hand, you're weak. So they'll call you off with the big hand now.
Right.
You gotta change gears, huh?
Right. And so Skate, when you were saying you wanted to not raise the, how did we get? No, yeah, we're in the right thing. An L50. You were saying in the cutoff, wanting to, here we go. Cutoff fold. We're on the cutoff. There we go. Cutoff. Not raise the ace 9. Oh, you're not, or not raise the ace 8 and raise the ace 9. Not giving up that
Yeah,
much.
like
Look at that.
mix with the ace 8 and then go
Yeah.
ace 9 plus.
Yeah, do that live.
Well-
It's 0 EV, so sure, cut out the ace 8.
Live, it's positive EV to raise it.
Okay.
Because you're in the lower limit live games, you're not getting 3-bet often enough, and they're going to call wider. So their wider range, the extra hands are calling, are all weaker than ace-8.
Okay.
So there's a good argument against it. And the other thing is Joey's really good. So worth learning from. Or Joey
Okay.
talks like he's really good. We don't know. I've never actually seen him play. Ace deuce raises and takes it. Folds around. Ace 8 probably folds here. King 7 should fold. Let's see if I go for an exploit just on that people fold too much. Nope.
Yep. Ace-8 fold. Yep.
Yep. Ace 10 needs to raise. King 9 here. 3-bets? Any King 9 3-bets? There might be some. I don't think-
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
good two-bet hand.
That was king 9.
Yeah, let's see if he does it. Nope. All right. King 8 suited and the 9. Oh, this
This
is
could be an interesting hand.
a hand. All right.
You might get to see a flop here, but I doubt it.
There's your King 8. You're going to see a flop.
Just
Oh, wait a
gonna
minute.
call. Yep.
Jack. So this is interesting. Yeah. Does the ace jack go for the squeeze? Which, forgetting about their cards, ace jack is a good squeeze here.
There's a
Yeah,
squeeze all day.
This
I
is a-
think so. Yeah.
He squeezes. Easy fold for me. Easy fold for there. And the 9s is not an easy fold. It's not a trivial.
Especially the
Mm,
sizing. This is a little too small for a squeeze.
Yeah, let's see.
Well, look, maybe look, he's got a broken stack. It's
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, the 9s have broken stack, which 9s go up in value in a broken stack.
Yeah, they're probably gonna call.
No, I think actually.
I'm not set mining nines. I'm not set mining with nines. I can just lose all my money with 9s.
Maybe what you could do with
Sure.
the broken stack here is if you see a low board on the
Yeah,
the
just
flop,
jam.
maybe you could just shove over his C bet.
It's an all low board, or if it's a board with only one Broadway card. That's
Yeah,
not an
good
ace,
point.
and just hope that you did not hit his kicker.
Yeah, I don't think pairs go up, and I think it's the reverse. They go up in value when you have a bigger stack because like you could set mine.
Yeah.
I think a top pair is like King X, Ace X goes up in value like single pair hands.
Yeah.
When you
So
hit-
here's what I meant. Small pairs like 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, maybe 6s and 7s, all go down as your stack gets shorter because they need set mine power.
Yes,
Suited cards go down in value and suited connectors go down in value.
yes.
Your bigger pocket pairs go way up in value, and I think 9s might be big enough to be put.
Sola. I was trying to get to that point, but I was waiting for everybody to finish.
Make the point. I
Just
didn't-
shove it.
Just shove it. That's a really
Mm.
good. Just shove it, or and if you get called, you're giving him all 5 cards. So that's the other.
Although
Yeah.
I don't think we can check this in a solver because I don't think 9s just call versus a cutoff when you're a short stack.
Yeah. We don't have short stack solver.
Yeah, this is where I'll solve land.
But to
Well-
go back to this one,
The Wizard does have a 50.
it does.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm sorry, I kind of got distracted. Are we discussing we're discussing 3-betting the small blind ace jack? Is that what we're discussing?
no,
Well, no.
in the 9s shoving. But look, I didn't realize this. There's now cash solves in the 6 max that are smaller. I've never seen those.
Are they post flop?
Sola says 4-bet shove. Where are we talking 4-bet here?
From the 9s, the pairs,
No.
because like, yeah, sir. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
'cause
so
suited-
ace jack
suited-
3-bets and it gets around back to the 9s. That's what I missed?
Yep.
Yeah, nine is
Okay,
hard to play
gotcha.
post
Yeah.
post flop, so that's why they want to shove like suited connectors and
Yeah.
suited
But I-
cards go down in value as your
I-
stacks.
50 big blind charts, but I would expect that the 9s are pure 3-betting.
We're gonna look in a second. But the other thing was the ace jack's size. So we just want to check on that. So it should be 10. Yep, it's not big enough. Because it should be 7.5, 3 times the 9s. Plus the 2.5 is 10, plus the 1 in there, which is 11. So it needs plus himself, so that's 12. So it should be 12 at a minimum. Plus it should be another 2.5.
About 14.
Yeah, so it should be 14 instead of 13. Close enough. I shut up. I thought he was 11. So yeah, a little,
Yeah.
one big blind small, but that seems like rounding error. All right, and the nines, what do? They don't shove.
Yeah.
And 2 over cards, and now I think is 2 Broadway cards is too much for the nines to continue. Yep. Now, let's research this. The 50 big blind pre, right? That's what he is?
Yeah.
Yep.
D. Brand new thing. We're gonna use this a lot. Okay, so it's the cutoff raise, button with nines. It's got some calls, but mostly 3 bets.
All right, let's call then.
That's what he
We-
did.
I thought it would be almost pure.
Nope.
Ace jack suited, but he does have 3 bets, so just a
You,
Either gonna
you
take
need
one
a
out of squeeze and look to 11 shorter stack.
Yeah,
But
well,
he's
yeah,
not
this is
really-
a little bit different because it's assuming everybody has 50 big
Right,
blinds.
which they don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raise. Big blind with the ace 3.
Look how
Fold.
far down his shoves go at this stack depth.
All right, there we go. There's the big blind. That's me. Cut off. Oh, we are shoving nines on the button in a second, I think.
yeah, tens pure.
Yeah, so lots and lots of folding here. And what is he? And he does have calls. You can call the squeeze.
Trapping at this stack depth.
Yeah, got some trapping there. There we go. Cut off folds and the button. Where's the nines?
Ripping it in.
It's
the
ripping.
9. It's
You got a
calling.
sliver of nines.
Looks
Oh,
like
there
it's
they are.
calling 15% and ripping the other ones.
Yep, there's the rip. Yep, so mostly rip. Mostly rip is better. Okay. So 2 off the chart things here. And all of us like let's check this out. Let's go back to normal size and make sure that it was just a stack size thing. Boom.
Yeah. I also want to see something too. Like, so
Button.
Wh-
Button calls the nines here, no problem. And now the small blind. Ace jack, right. It's an artifact of 50 big blinds. Ace jack is a 3 bet. That's what we learned. And we learned it correctly.
And I'm
Yeah.
wondering what the button does with 9s after the 3 bet. I think it's
Uh,
probably going to be mixing more with a deeper stack.
All right. The cutoff with his nines mostly folds. And when he folds, the button with his deep stack nines mixes. Mostly fold.
are when cutoff opens, are we flatting tens as well, or 50-50, or like mostly raising those?
Mostly
I-
raising,
and
some calling.
Tens is
okay,
the
okay,
last that has
50.
any significant calls in it.
Yeah.
Jack,
Alright.
Jacks is plus. Makes sense.
Give me a couple minutes. I have to check on something.
no problem. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just completely lose this fringe of jacks and not even learn it or even think about it. All right.
Okay.
That was a hand. Back to normal. Fold around. King 8 should raise and take it. But he doesn't. This King 8 is, you can
Yep.
go down to King 7 here. In the old poker coaching size. Let's see in the new
So
game.
you could like tag them. Well, you can't tag them because
Yeah.
we're seeing hands now, but yeah, you can tag them. This is Iggy,
Okay.
right?
Oh, it's got, yeah, the King 7 is a little bit of it, but the King 8 is just not a fold. Just don't fold that.
Nope.
All right.
Ace 8 here, some raising, mostly folding. King 9, I should raise. Ace 10 should 3-bet me.
I
That's-
wonder if that king 8 fold is an example of people
I think
playing
ace
tight in
10's
the
a fold.
fast fold game.
Could be. There's that. Now
Well,
I get there.
He raised.
He raised, and I think the ace 10 is a fold here now. The ace 10 should
Yes.
raise me and fold to him. So therefore he called. There we go. Now we got some not perfect play. Check this out. Even with calls, when the cutoff raises, I'm sorry, when the button, stop that. When the button raises, the small blind with his ace 10 can 3-bet. Pure. Right. When the cutoff with his ace 8 comes in, which he certainly can.
Yeah.
Now my button.
We gotta slow down, right?
King.
A lot.
My king nine, all my kings are gone. And now the small blind with his ace 10 should just fold. Yep. But he calls. There's not a call there. There are
Nice.
calls range. And this illustrates one of the things that I believe to be true, even at the 200 NL and even in the fast game, which is people, while there is a calling range in the small blind, the people who have a calling range in the small blind do not have this calling range. They don't have a calling range in the small blind because they've studied more than me, who
That
I've
should be
my life. I've simplified my life to having a 3-better fold strategy in the small blind. They're not doing it because they've gone one step too far. They've learned less than me and are doing it with the wrong range.
I still see myself calling small medium pairs and maybe some suited aces in the small blind.
There they are. There's your small medium pair calls.
Yeah.
There's your little bit of suited aces. And then there's also your king. There's also this fringe here.
Broadway suited.
Broadway suited.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what they are. That's what the range is. I believe that is not what the range I'm seeing out in the wild is. And I've reviewed a lot of hands where I get to see their hands like this. And that is also what I see. I don't see them playing this range. And we'll check it. At some point, we'll have Yas do an analysis of what the small blind calling range really is against our player pool. Okay. So there we go. On the
Okay.
flop, it goes. So he calls, check. Ace 8 checks the bottom pair. Sure. Great. 4. He bets. Ace 8 gonna call once with the bottom pair. Just get out of there. He does. Not bad. All right. Congratulations, Ace 8.
Now, he
Nice.
should raise. Well, let me see. Oh, yeah, he should raise. I think it's tough to raise here, because raising and then getting shoved on is a nightmare.
Right.
But I think this is, because if you look, he should be 3-betting his ace queen, especially in the small blind. And so who knows what fucking flatting range is, but I think you get value from all the other ace X that he's value betting.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't have 2 pair. The best hand they could have villain is maybe like a set. Yeah, set.
Especially, I think this sizing tell is important. This is not a pot or B80 or B75. This is half pot. Well, I guess it's a little bit more than half pot, but
Yeah, 3/4 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Now your raise size has got to be, there's a limit to your raise size. Oh no, he's got 57 left. Are you going to call off with ace 8? And I guess the answer is you are.
yeah, there's got to be a limit to raise size too, because there's a straight available.
Yeah. The straight available and the ace 9. So we're beating the ace, deuce, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Split with the 8, 10, jack, and the king that he never has. That's what we're beating. A lot of stuff. And we're losing to the ace 9 and the jack 9.
So what size would you use here to
We're
raise?
21.
Yeah, I was thinking 21, 28, something like that. But yeah.
21. That's it. And get called. Hooray. Congratulations, ace 8.
Scotty calls it.
Yep.
Fold, raise the king 6 suited. He's not going to. I would. He does. Good for him. Smaller than normal. 10 jack fold. Just fold around. Just let him take it. All right, kids. We've got some new people at the tables.
Yeah, I would never open king 6 at that stack size.
I would always. Oh, I wouldn't have that stack size.
Yeah.
But yeah. But this
I
is
gotta start putting in more king 5, king 6 into my opens.
Hey, do you have the 50 size? Let's see how deep into the
yeah, let's
suited
see.
kings we go.
I've never studied this. Let's just look at it. It's there.
Yeah, it's there at even more of a more frequency clip.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
Play it. Knock yourself out. And I'd like to point out what the small blind response to this is.
Hmm.
It is not this. So another example of the small blind calling range. As played, he should check range. But that's not what he came here for. He came here for, I guess, to see a flop that didn't have an ace in it and to bet it.
Fancy play.
It's gonna work.
Yep.
And exploit the guy, and he chose to do this there because the guy was on a broken stack, maybe? Maybe he just looked at, this is the guy I'm gonna beat up on.
Yeah, makes sense.
King five
Hmm.
raise, king jack suited 3-bet, fold. Okay, fold. There we go. And just raise and take it. King nine suited as a 3-bet from the small blind against the cutoff. Full stack.
Uh,
I don't know it.
Hmm.
I don't know it. Let's see.
I think you want more like Broadway connected, maybe like King 10.
King 10, you do it. Yeah, king 10 you do, but does it go down to king nine?
I
Yep.
assume no. It does?
Nope, it mixes. There's the king 10 you wanted to have, just like you said,
Yeah.
scale. There it is. But king nine
Yep.
can, it wasn't gonna work.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
folding.
Scotty.
Yeah.
Change your opening size to 2.5. I'm wondering if the king nine 3-bets more now.
All right. Go back to the 2.5, which would have made it. Nope, it just
Less.
takes out, it just takes out its call, a little bit less. And when he does it, he did it, he does it bigger. It was to 11 before. Now he does that. When he does it, I do not fold king jack suited. In this case, if I was playing it, I would 4-bet it. There we go. There's the raise and the take it. Fold, 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 fold around. Fold, fold, raise and take it. See, come on, come on, cut off.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it. People are tighter.
That is too
People are
tight.
tighter in short stack
Yeah,
than L200.
yep, there we go.
Mm.
Fold around to the 10-7, who should just fold, give it to the 10-8. Ace jack raise, ace 10 should fold here. Cutoff versus hijack, that's not enough, I need ace queen. But he limps, our first limp, our
Mhm.
first limp in the fast game. All right, I'm gonna 3-bet this, I'm gonna ISO this, and it's not gonna go well for me. There's my ISO to 4.5, there's a call.
Yeah, we don't have any cold calls in between, right? Like before the button, it's just a raise or fold.
Yeah,
You mean limp
Okay.
behinds?
Yeah, I mean limp behind. Yeah, exactly.
oh, and limp
I
behind,
think
no,
there's
you have limp behind.
overlimps.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's small pairs, sure. Limp with a limper. He already made
Small
one.
pairs, suited connectors.
Yeah.
But that's only if another player limps.
Yep.
No open limping.
No open limping, but once someone has committed the sin of open limping, one of the exploits is you now get to limp behind with some hands that you would have not gotten to see the flop against his raises.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the only question then is you've got to exhibit some discipline if you're ISO'd by someone behind.
Depending on the ISO size and things, because there are a lot of people who are ISOing to the wrong size there, which
Yeah.
is
True.
when they ISO to 3 big blinds. That's absolutely fabulous. All right. He's gonna check and I'm gonna bet. I'm just gonna bet range here. Because I just think his limping range is garbage. And in this case,
Yeah.
he's not in the garbage part of his range, but I know I'm just,
Now, he has got actually a good hand at XR. He's on good.
yes, he does. 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush, and an
And an over.
overcard, and an overcard to the second card. That's a lot.
but homie don't play that.
Homie, don't play that. Now,
Limper. Don't
It's-
play
it's-
that.
but homie's
has-
gonna win though. Homie's gonna win because I think I'm one and done on this board because I believe him. I have no diamond. It's over. Well, he ends it like that.
Oh, he donks into you.
Yeah, homie wins it.
Yeah, I think that might be a good donk too.
If you're gonna donk,
Hard.
that's a good one.
Well, he was a pre-flop raiser.
No, he was a free flop limper.
Oh
limped.
yeah, the
He
limper.
doesn't have the
No,
better
limp.
lead.
Right, the limper. I forgot.
With the flush hitting, it should change. It should shift equities with the flush hitting.
But I just don't see that I can continue on this board.
Yeah, good fold. Switch to best size.
I have the worst hand, but it's not like I couldn't win the hand if I was Edward Norton. All right. Raise and take it.
In what film? Or in real
I'm
life?
hoping rounders. I'm hoping not,
Okay.
I'm hoping not in American History X. Although, do I have the hair for it?
You do in the, yeah, you do.
No, I
You
think
do
he
in
was
American
more, I don't
History
think he
X.
was bald. I think it was more of the buzz cut rather than the bald.
Oh, he was shaved in American History X.
Was he
I think.
shaved? All right. Well, I certainly
During the
have
game.
tism to go with it. All right.
Hey,
since-
that man, he's
and
money.
since this is on YouTube, let me just say, I'm Jewish. I can make that joke. Ugh. YouTube. Anyway, anyone can make a joke, in my opinion. It's a joke. All right. Thank you, YouTube. Please flag me. And hit that like and subscribe. All right. Jack 9. Fold around to the ace 8 who raises and takes it. 10-9 suited. Ooh. He could get in there. If he gets in there, the 10-10 should 3-bet him. If he limps, the 10-10 should bet him. If not, the 10-10 should raise. And this Jack Queen suited on the button is going to play against 10-10.
Now this
Uh,
would be
ten-
interesting if you squeeze.
Right.
So it's
Uh,
raise. So if he calls, you've got a very interesting combo.
I do. And the 10-10 here should be 3-betting this.
But if he
Either-
3-bets,
now-
I think you need to get it out.
Get out of the way. Easy out of the way.
Yeah,
And
like low jack here, we could mix 10-9, suited connector 6, 5-6, 6-7, 8-7, 8-7, stuff like that.
and in
I
the
know 10-10 doesn't have flats here.
Mhm.
If he does, I don't know if Queen Jack suited is the right hand to use as a target.
Yeah.
Because
So what are you gonna do with Queen Jack suited? Are you gonna
the
just
way I'm
call?
envisioning the ranges is Queen Jack suited blocks a lot of the folds.
That's a good point. So, but that's a hand that can make the nuts. Are you gonna just call?
I don't know. I don't like calling third in.
Are you gonna muck Queen Jack suited then?
We can look it up in the solver.
except does the solver have,
Well,
solver doesn't have the call, doesn't have that second.
We'd have to look it up on the
Poker
poker
coaching
coaching
has
solver.
it.
Well,
Okay.
no, go to GTO Wizard. I'll show you something different too.
All right. I'm ready.
First of all, see if it'll do it in the 6 max.
All right.
I
All
don't-
right. Idea.
I don't think so,
No.
but we might get lucky and have a sliver here or there.
Nope.
Yeah, there's
Nope.
not gonna be any calls in GTO Wizard until you get to the button.
All right, go back to
yep.
the options.
Mhm.
Go 150. I know it's a little different. 9 max.
9 max.
Hey, well, you got it right there.
And then cash.
Max, we got it in 6 max. There he is.
Huh?
Right there in 6 max. Go to 150. You got the call. And the button,
Oh.
Queen Jack suited. There you go. Both
Kind of
rows.
next.
Mixing. I think maybe this depends a lot on rake. So maybe in a low stakes, high rake game, this is a really good.
Oh yeah, you're in no limit 500.
Can we see a low jack is 10-9 pure opening?
Get back to NL 50. Where's my rake size? Rake, NL 50. But I still have it with 150. I've still got it. Some folds with the NL 50. Some play.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking it
Oh.
should look more like some folds but look at the hijack range to open or low jack range to open. Because look at
10-9
the
pure.
range of king jack, queen jack.
Yeah, it increases. And also we're opening these low pairs more because there's so much more quad odds.
I'll go back to the 2.5 because that's what we're seeing more often. Here's the interesting thing though, as played, we've got the 10-9 suited raise, perfectly reasonable from there. When the hijack 3-bets him, comes back around, he can call this.
Yeah.
He can call these suited connectors.
I would.
all of them.
Yeah, you can call with all the suited connectors.
Yeah. Yep. He doesn't need to do this.
That's fairly
Nope.
consistent, 100 and over.
Yeah, he can see a flop. Fold, raise, and fold. Oh, look at that oversized bet. You were looking for oversized bets, Skate? There, well, that's now you've seen it. We've seen a king, queen. We've
Yep.
seen a king, jack, I think, and then we saw that. I don't remember what the other one was.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I don't like playing king queen off post flop.
Yeah, there we go.
We've seen here for the rush games, you don't have to raise sizing to get folds.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. We've seen that. The ace eight can raise, and I think based on what we've seen, should, because you're getting the extra folds. But he doesn't. Ace three on the button, sure. He makes it extra big. There's your extra big, Skate. They're not necessarily bluffs, but they seem to be lower in the range. We have not seen them with aces and kings, which is what I've also seen in the other game. In the $50 game, I've seen them be aces and jacks. And ace king.
Okay.
That's what so who knows what they are. I'm just remembering that that's what I've seen in those games. We just did this hand. We just did that hand. And now we're here. 10-7 in the hijack seems too early.
Yep.
And folds to the ace twos. Oh, look at that. It's a party. This guy's got 10
Spicy.
big blinds and is feeling good about himself. Ace two suited calls. And of course he outflops him.
And that's a horrible bet too.
Do you get to continue with this combo? You've got two back doors and an over, but the two clubs are going to make some of your outs dirty.
And your deuce backdoor is not a good one. If the 4-5 comes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is not what you want to have.
Yeah.
But I guess to 1.62, there's always,
Now it gets interesting.
yep. How big does he bet? Pot. Against a pot size bet,
We're supposed to fold, right?
it's hard to
It
get.
depends on
enough value.
SPR.
Yeah, it's hard to get enough. He's got the SPR, but it's hard to get enough. How are you going to play your flush on the river that you're going to get that much?
You don't bet with that size, so you'd have to check.
Yeah.
Does he value that? He doesn't care about the flush. He's like,
No, he doesn't care about the flush. He's got trip threes. And he got in there with 3-4. He's not here to show down a 3-4. Does anybody want to see whether that ace deuce calls that turn size?
let's go on. This is not that great.
No.
Okay, yeah, I think it's probably a fold.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking.
I don't know. All right. Right. Well, with the one over, dirty over. Moving on. Ace deuce raise, ace 7 suited fold. Nope. Not gonna fold.
Nice 3-bet, dude. You found it.
Not gonna fold it.
Now he should fold that combo.
We could open all suited aces on the cutoff. I mean, what about
Yes.
all suited aces? Even
Open all-
ace deuce?
We can open
Every
all
suited
suited
ace, yeah,
aces from
on
any
the cutoff.
position.
Every
Okay.
suited ace opens the cutoff. There they are.
And
And in the small blind, the ace 7, find the
yeah,
sliver.
those middle aces are gonna wanna fold.
There's that sliver. Look at that sliver.
Yeah.
Found the sliver, didn't bet big enough. And then back to the cutoff, the ace deuce is a fold. Now,
This is an interesting situation. All right, so you
I am
should.
going to bet and take it. I'm gonna bet,
So this
seven-
region of the board hits the 3-bet calling range quite well.
it does.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
So this becomes an interesting hand to play with this no equity combo.
Yes. What do you mean no equity? I could hit an 8 and have the ignorant end of a straight.
I stand corrected, sir.
There we go. That'll teach you to call
I
pre-flop.
think Still check it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not proud about this bet. I'm just happy about the result.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, that's me.
Nice.
I like your, I think this is the right sizing on this board texture.
Oh, I don't mind the size.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the bet, the size with my range, I don't mind. But I have to be, for me to bet ace seven here, I need to be range betting. And I think I'm
I
just
mean,
doing that three bet.
were you thinking that villain 11 is maybe a little bit wide on the button cutoff?
You're giving me too much credit. You're saying that I'm thinking.
And plus it's anonymous. There's no way he really knows.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Unless
Yeah.
he actually remembers the number, like 736A21 is this player.
No, it comes in anonymous even on that. The only
Oh.
way to contract them is by
Yeah.
stack size. When someone's got 1,000 big blinds and you see them come back, it's the same guy. So
Yeah,
some,
this is as anonymous as it gets.
I've played really late at night where there are so few players in the pool that you can see them by their stack sizes.
Yeah, but what if you play like hours on end with them? I mean, and they're at the same table. Can't you like, make a judgment from like,
No,
50
because
hands, 60 hands?
they change their seats, they change their names. The only thing that goes is the stack size is they take their stack to the next table. They take
Oh, so
no
it's like,
thing.
it's really, really random.
It's random and anonymous.
Okay.
And I was playing it regularly because I was playing it when I had a reasonable understanding of pre-flop ranges, but I did not think I played well after the flop, and I didn't want to be exploited in the sense of that people saw of the mistakes I was making. And so I said, okay, I'll just play anonymous.
Eh,
No, I know.
I hate that reasoning.
I'm fine with that. Not doing it anymore.
I know when I coach, anybody who would tell me that, what I would tell my students is the only way you're going to learn the spots that you don't know how to do is to put yourself in the spots that you don't know how to do.
Yes, but I was putting myself, it's not that I wasn't playing post flop. It's just that I was playing post flop anonymously. And the other reason I was doing it was I was winning, and I was winning at the $1, $2 game for a long time. And I got my stack up to like 10 grand. And then I got it down to 0. And I said, all right, enough of that.
Hey, guys, on the side, so Justice Leva, who built the pre-flop ranges, he asked the question we're always asking about the rake structure for six max that are the poker coaching ranges, and here's his answer. So we know this is the official answer.
Oh, you posted it?
It's in chat.
It's in chat. All right, let me put that up. Let's put the chat up on the YouTube channel and also so I can read it.
And what about that 8 max where there's calls? Did he mention that?
Let me see.
Right.
Uh,
So this is-
Jonathan Little explained that in the advanced cashing course in the introduction video. It's without break.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
they
what I
used
heard it.
they used HRC, and I guess HRC doesn't have rake.
So what that also seems to say is that when he built those ranges, he didn't give the options for the other positions to even call. He only gave the option for the button and big blind to call.
Yeah, which is important. Here's the I put the Discord discussion link into.
Great.
So if you give that option, it might have some other calls that aren't showing up in the range.
Yeah, he chose to, which is fine. He just chose to build it without.
Yep.
With a 3-bet only strat.
And I'm fine to learn it that way. Makes you hard to play against.
Yeah.
Tens raise and take it.
But it's fine.
Fold-
It's good to finally get an answer to that question. It's been asked 1,000 times.
Fold to the king jack. King 9 raise and take it, although that doesn't mean this guy who shouldn't play the queen 10 isn't going to. Oh,
I
look at that. Oh,
I bet the queen 10 to a button raise.
okay. Queen 10 offsuit. I don't. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Take a look at how much that's there. But also, this guy just
It
folded
would
king 9
That would
suited.
explain
What?
Joey's high 3-bet. numbers.
It might not be there, but
Yep, good for you. Let's see if it is. I'm not saying it's wrong, just seeing if it's there. Look at it! In its beautiful
Sliver.
Joey sliverness. Look at that. All. Get the exact number. All 11.5% of it. Get them.
What were you guys saying about the six match ranges from Just GTO? Was it like is that the poker coaching ranges?
yes.
Okay, you're just he's just explaining why the ranges are the way they are with the rake and whatever.
Yeah.
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 So what it looks like he's saying is the 8 max he ran with the option to call at the other spots that are calling. For the 6 max charts, he only gave the call option to the button in big blind.
Oh, so the 8 max, we don't know whether the 8 max has a rake in it or not. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Larry, would you
We
ask-
do.
No, he said that it does not have rake.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the new ones that you have were built with HRC and there is no rate,
What's
Okay.
HRC?
Hold'em resource calculator.
which
They
kind of
do-
makes sense because I would imagine that's more of a tournament pool.
Yes, a tool available only on the PC, not on the Mac. All right.
No,
We could
no.
probably really get into the weeds on this whole rake thing, but they don't build in calls when there's rake because it's kind of not really profitable to do so, right?
HRC is actually a really good tool to use. In fact, GTO Wizard and Preflop Academy both use HRC for some of their ranges.
Yeah, I wonder if I guess it's overtaken Monk or Solver.
And I'm gonna do some work at some point with Danny and HRC on the end game of the sit and goes. And try to get good at that at some point.
Yeah, that's vital if you want to play SMGs.
Right. So here we go. A fold from King 9 suited, way too tight. And the Queen 10, who Joey was gonna 3-bet. Clearly that is not Joey. Because he did that, and I'm gonna see the flop with 5-4. And the exploit here, I believe, is not the idea to say, oh, his range is weak, therefore I will raise him with 5-4. I think it's more saying, oh, I get to see a flop, that my exploit is that I got to see this flop that I should have no business seeing.
Okay, hang on. Skate, the sit and goes used to be very profitable because when I started playing, that's what I played, and I made tons of money on them. But now it's so niche and all the players are really good. It's harder to actually make money with sit and goes right now.
Okay, it plays more like it's like a six max, kind of like you get to the final table like much more quicker kind of thing.
You're at the
Yeah.
final table. You started.
Yeah. Okay, you are.
You'll still find weak players because I mean I still play them once in a while and I still make money, but the money is not nearly as well. Like before, nobody knew how to play it,
Yeah,
and I cashed in almost everyone. Like you're supposed to cash 33% of the time. I cashed well over 50 by
the
playing tight.
yeah, and they didn't, none of them knew the end game strategy before. And so there was just so much EV being given away. Now more people know the end game strategy. I see that. My wife plays all the sit and goes. That's what she loves. All right, here we go. And I got to see the flop. Yay me. He doesn't bet his 10. He still doesn't
Thank you.
bet his 10. All right. Is he gonna get me to bluff this 5-4? Or is he finally gonna give up and bet? I think he might
I
get.
bet you make a bet here.
I think
I
yep, I bluff.
What?
Oh my God.
What
Okay.
just happened?
He had to be disconnected. That's what had to have happened.
no
That
way.
has to be a computer thing. That's what that was.
That's insane. So you were being nice and checking down.
No,
when he
it
was
doesn't say it.
disconnected.
It doesn't say that it doesn't necessarily say he's disconnected, because trust me, I'm not nice.
Maybe he misread his hand too.
Maybe he misread his hand. Maybe he thought the club didn't come in.
I thought you were being a sporting player and you were checking down to let him reconnect.
Oh,
No,
he's checking because it's a one-liner to a straight.
he might have folded, he might have folded to the 8.
That's
I think
insane.
That's insane.
he must have out-leveled himself.
I don't know what happened, but
He played this hand hardball.
I would say so.
It doesn't get much
And-
worse.
He should have bet the flop. He should have bet the turn.
He should have
Never
raised the
fold-
pre-flop. As long, I mean, raise, bet.
Yeah,
bet.
raise probably don't even see a flop.
No, I don't. Of course not.
Although 5-4 off, sometimes I'll see a flop with that.
I'm not ever,
Nope.
ever. Never, never, never. Hope that the next
Well,
do it. All right. Ace 3 raises. Let's see if there's any nonsense with some mistake with the 8-9 like I call. If ace 3 limps though, I'm gonna limp
I think
behind.
you get to call at some frequency here.
Let's see. There's the raise. I'm just gonna fold, I assume. Good. 5-5 defend. What?
3-bet.
3-bet the 8-9?
So look, can we talk about this for a second? So, I don't think it's UTG actually.
Oh, wait,
Hold on, it's hijack.
hijack. Go on with what you were gonna say, Larry, while we,
So I'm interested in Joey's 3-bet frequency here, because I'd like to implement more 3-bets. And I think adding suited connectors here is a good idea. I mean, we don't see it in solver, but this is more about people playing 3-bet.
Well, we do
pots out of
do this
positioning
instead.
correctly.
just make these 100, don't do any of these, and just make these 100% for the reason, these are here because they're not dominated, these are dominated. That's
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
that's the
yeah.
problem. So just, if you want to increase your 3-bet frequency, just do these at 100%.
So here's my question, Joey. So once you do 3-bet, let's say 9-8 suited, flop, you're just gonna play it like you had a normal tight player 3-bet range, right? So you're gonna play your range normal. I mean, you're gonna play it like you
Yeah,
had
I'm
ace
gonna
queen or ace king.
no. I'm not going to imitate ace king, ace queen. I'm going to see the flop, decide what equity bucket my hand falls into, and then try to figure out what that equity bucket does and try to imitate it.
Okay, that makes sense.
And
So
but
let,
also I take the next question is, do I change from that to exploit this player?
that, and also I was gonna give a more specific example. It's easy with this combo to flop no equity. So if you flop no equity, what are you doing on flop?
It depends what the flop is.
All right, let's say it's ace, queen, 2 rainbow.
I'm probably betting if there's a diamond and I have a backdoor, I'm probably going to bet 50% or maybe 6%.
Okay,
Sizing
And then-
or frequency?
Sizing.
Right, and then if you don't have a diamond, that's the one you let go.
okay, so you don't have a diamond, you're giving up.
Yeah.
Okay,
So 3/4 of the time he gets to continue.
okay, and then next question, you flop an 8 of an offsuit 8. So now you have marginal equity. What are you gonna do on time? One check through.
If it's still marginal made, I will probably check behind. If it's shrunk up, sometimes pairs become junk because they shrink up so small based on the rest of the board.
Yeah.
Then you could start bluffing it.
Okay. I mean, so
I
I
mean,
guess
it
my point, go ahead, sorry.
All the other post flop heuristics you've learned don't necessarily change after you 3-bet.
Yeah, true.
You
It's
just
just, it's actually easier to play, I think, sometimes into the pot because ranges are more defined.
Yeah.
Except Joey's, which is finding some really cool 3-bet exploits.
This seems really bad. This is not a 3-bet hand, and 3-betting to 5 seems really bad.
And big blind where he just has to call 1.5 to see a flop.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
it's not a 3-bet hand, And if you're gonna three bet it, why would you do this? And if you're doing it to try to get the other guy to play straightforward after the flop, don't you want to be in position for that game? But there he is. He got the second best flop he could expect, third best flop he could expect.
So I do see this sometimes, and I'm always curious what kind of range makes this. And I'm always torn between, do they have the uber nuts? They don't want to call. They have aces and kings and they want to call. Do not want to generate a fold, or do they have crap like this?
Yeah.
This is crap, but they have low equity hands like this.
See, is he gonna blast him off? Is he gonna go Brazilian? Small blast? Nope, he's not going full Brazilian. Oh, he's doing the worst thing. He's being Peruvian.
So we've seen this before, right? So we've seen this kind of, I'm a fish and these are my bluff sizes again before.
Yeah.
This kind of nonsensical, non-polarizing bluff sizes.
Let's see if it works. Oh, and by the way, to those of you on YouTube, I'm also from Peru, so it's okay for you to make that joke. All right, moving on.
Scotty is one of the 3 Peruvian Jewish people in the
One
entire
of the
world.
one of the few. Yeah. All right, here we go.
You and
And
your brother, right?
yeah, exactly. And it doesn't work. Gee,
Wow.
what a surprise.
I would have
That,
folded the ace three.
that's a pretty impressive call off after a triple barrel.
Yeah,
Because he went half and more than half.
half. And then, yeah.
Guess that's about 65%.
The spades didn't get there. The fives didn't get there.
Yeah, you can easily see the bluffs that miss.
Yeah, that was, yep, there you go. Not well played. Fold around. Okay, here's something. Raise, three bet, jacks need to fold, and at that point, the ace king offsuit, I think does some not four betting In-
No,
in this configuration. It's all four bet? Or is it the suited one? that does-
yeah, I don't think you're ever gonna flat ace king out of position there.
Yeah, in theory, you're never supposed to fight this.
Well, I am going, we're gonna be all in.
He should have a couple shoves.
Here we go. Now we're going all in.
That's tight.
Wow.
Hooray.
To be honest, I think the folder does, or the solver does fold a little bit with
Yeah,
ace.
I think you're right, Joey.
100 big blinds deep.
I don't know though. Let's see. It's interesting. I'm
It's
also
seven-
because of the tight ranges. I do wonder if there is any calling. Yeah, there is a
Look at
sliver
that
there.
call. I told you there was a call.
But it's mostly shoving.
Mostly shoving. I don't prefer it.
Oh.
Just saying it there. And I believe his sizing was exactly 20. Believe that he did it. Yep. There he is. There's his 20. Here we go with ace king suited, mostly shoving. There's the shove. And the ace king just calls. There's no.
Can you look and see
Oh.
what the EV is of calling? I think it's like a chip and a half or something. Down one.
Right, yeah. I hit the wrong button.
Okay.
2.2.
I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Can you roll over ace king off again?
Right there.
2.2. Thank you, sir.
0.2.
What's aces?
89.47.
So
There
it's
is a
not
sorry, go ahead.
10%. There is I don't know who developed this, but I've heard Matt Affleck talk about it, that against population, if your hand is not within 10% of aces in the equity, or I mean in the expected value, that it's okay to fold that exploitatively against some players.
Because they don't have all of the bluffs they need to have.
Yes.
Because they don't have let's just go to the all-in sizing. They don't have. Wait, where's my bluff? There is no bluff. I have no bluff. Ace king is my bluff. Oh, wait, what's covering? No, this is everything. Look at this. Anybody ever seen this chart before?
Yeah.
Yeah, ace king is my bluff.
Because you're folding.
Raise, fold, raise 20.
I go all in. I just hit the all in button there.
What's got the 33? What's the rate? What's the B33s?
They got some bluffs. Although the bluff is ace four suited. I mean, it's not a terrible hand, but
But you could imagine after being four bet, how
Yeah.
many people in the population do not shove ace king?
I think people are getting a lot better at it because it's just, I mean, that's solver 101, drop solver 101. But is there an exploit to call the position?
Well, yeah, the 10%. If somebody shoves on you and you don't think they have the full range and that their range is stronger than what it should be, you can fold any hand that is not within the threshold of 10% of aces.
So what are you
Same
saying?
as-
You're saying that you think population shoves ace king less than we do, and they are probably shoving more of their pairs and like, yeah, pairs in general.
No, we think they shove ace king a lot. We think this is a
Okay.
very unusual thing to happen. This fold.
No. All right. In Philadelphia at Parks, where I play,
Mhm.
a lot of people don't even three bet ace king.
Okay,
Really?
because it's a drawing hand in their mind.
Yes, they'll play it
Also-
more. Like I would three bet them there and they would just call instead of four betting. Or if they do four bet it and they imagine that the five bet is only aces,
Mm-hmm. So they lay it down.
yeah.
I mean, a
Or
lot of the value of this hand is it's blocking aces and kings.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go all the way with it.
yeah,
Well-
a lot of people I play with would not even four bet ace king. So if it gets back to them after being four bet, they're not going to five bet it.
Right.
Yeah.
So all I can say is obrigado. Fold around. No, the 9-jack should raise. And take up. 6-5 defended.
This is loose.
I don't think that's unreasonable blind versus blind.
It's unnecessary. I mean, the solver, the solver in the raked solver, I believe, doesn't have it at 5-6. The unraked.
What against the open, what hands do we bluff in the big blind, like the worst hands?
These,
Those.
It's a
these,
very complex range.
right, but you want it, but the bluffs, these and these, those are your bluffs. Those are
Okay.
the nodes. Crappy suited tens and jacks. Offsuit, the bottom of your offsuit, kings and nines range. Those are your bluffs. And these are kind of bluffy, but not, you very often here you're bluffing with the best hand, with the
Yeah.
ace. Right. This 6-5 is necessary.
The sliver is in there. I find a lot
Yeah,
of value
yeah.
playing people in position.
Yeah.
If it's blind versus blind, I'll call that.
It's not in the
Um,
old poker coaching range, but it's in this range.
okay.
That's a caveat too. If the small blind is a really good player, just get out of his way.
Yeah, here he goes. And he hits the worst thing possible. He hits the flop in a way that everything about his hand is the other guy has better. So just bets.
Call.
Lose. He hasn't lost enough money yet to see if it goes on. Oh, everything's getting bad for him. The jack can continue to bet now.
But 6-5 should fold now.
But he checks. The 6-5 checks behind. Oh. Congratulations, 6-5. He's not folding now, is he?
Nah.
No, he's not folding two pair to that. Yep, there you go. Well played. As in, not so much. But if you're gonna play 6-5, I think he played it right. He didn't bet he called the small bet because he hasn't lost enough money yet when you have a pair. He's way behind. He didn't have to bet on the turn.
If-
He turned this into a bluff.
If the Jack 9 bets the turn,
He should.
bet small, 6-5 should just fold.
Yeah, I think the Jack 9 should bet the turn, even though the flush comes in. He's got a straight flush draw with the 9, and he's
Well,
still.
and the flush came in. So that probably put the brakes on too.
It did, but I don't think he had to put the brakes on. The flush came in, but what a great flush card to come in.
Yep.
And then that size seems completely unnecessary. That's for a top pair.
Top
Yeah.
pair we pick.
That's turning top pair into a bluff.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Or another way to put it, that is a polarizing size, and that is not a polarized hand. That hand does not make its way into a polarized range. I
It's
don't
not
think.
really a polarizing board much either.
Yeah.
You need a straight to bet that large on this board.
Yeah. All right, we're running this one.
Okay,
We're running this one.
um,
Tell me when you captured it.
I got it. I'm gonna step away, I'll be right back, and
Okay, that's
I'll
fine.
put it in.
We'll come back to it when you come back. All right.
All right.
Folds around to the, oh, we just played that one. There we go. Queen H should raise and take it. But if he doesn't,
Queen 8 under gun, that might be a little loose. Oh, I bet it.
Wait,
around
we suited?
a threshold.
Queen H suited. Look at it. Look at it. Right there. A whole quarter of it. It's club day. Queen 9 needs to fold, so now this folds around to the big blind. Okay.
Actually, I would have folded the Queen 8 there.
Okay.
Yeah, in my mind, it was a fold too, but you're right. It's a threshold hand.
Yeah, threshold hand. King,
It's
queen.
better to threshold in late position, not early position.
Yeah.
Here's our 5-minute. Here it is. Threshold, in the low jacket gets played some.
I fold it.
Yeah, you can fold it. You can simplify. So you can simplify your life. Fold this and call all your and raise all your king 7s. You get the right frequencies. Everything is simpler. King queen raise ace 6 suited. Cut off there. Where's
Fold.
probably there might be some 3-betting, probably down to ace 5. Yeah,
That
not
might be-
let's go to the ace 5.
That's actually if it has slivers, that's actually a 3-bet that I miss sometimes.
Yeah, the king, but this should just be a raise, and the 10-8 suited should absolutely defend.
Much prefer ace 5 suited.
Yeah.
Yeah, his size, does that suck? Yep, that sucks the guy, that gets it. And now the 8-10 needs to fold, and the king queen. I think he needs to, I don't think he folds yet. But he does. Let's see. Cutoff does a
I'm gonna-
raise, and now we're gonna change this to the GTO size because that'll get us down to the 2.2, which is closer to the 2 he did.
I'm gonna say
There
king
it is.
queen off as a fold.
Raise. Ace 6 is the one that doesn't do it. All the others do it, so it's not a disaster.
Yeah, I would have missed ace 7 too. I would have folded ace 6, ace 7 there. Got the
Yeah, me
ace
too.
4s, the ace 8 and higher.
Yeah, ace 3. So you're just folding ace 7 into ace 8 is how you're simplifying your range. And no
Well,
queen 6,
7 there.
right? No queen 6.
King 6.
King 6?
Now unfortunately I tend to miss that one a lot.
So, but if you do that, basically what you've done is you've combined ace 7 and ace 8 into ace 8, and you've put king 6 and ace 9, and you've got all the right frequencies, and it's simpler. But he found this. I found it for 7 big blinds instead of 6.5. Same thing. And now back to the hijack with his king queen. It's a fold. Needs to be suited. It's just too often dominated. Well done, ace 6.
What did the suited variety do? Did it 3-bet or call?
Mixes.
It
Mixes.
mixed.
Okay.
Mixes. King, jack, and
And
king.
then,
Everything
yeah, a
mixes
little more
here with the
four
king.
bet bluffing from the king 10, king jack. That's pretty common.
And the king 9 having a sliver of it, but no calls. The king queen, by the way, does have a sliver of four betting, but it's a nonsense sliver. Could be an unsolved sliver
What?
for all.
And sliver.
What?
I hit that against the right people. You hit that,
All right, let's see how much. Let's see how often is that. What's the
but
percentage?
it's rare.
Yeah.
Like it has to be the very right person cut
Yeah.
off. Hijack versus cutoff.
Yeah.
They have to be kind of a maniac in the cutoff for me to hit that.
They have to be a maniac and they have to be a maniac who folds. Both. All right. Otherwise, you're playing out of position in a bloated pot against a maniac with a dominated hand. That can't be
Yeah,
fun.
you're basically kind of describing a pretty good player.
All right. So here we go. Fives should raise. 10-8 suited should fold. 4-3 suited should call a lot of the time. But that's not.
Solver's going to have fives folding most of the time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Fives.
sixes is where you start raising there.
Yep. You're right. Low jacks have some fives and have a sliver of
Jack
five.
8, the Jack 8 should have raised.
Scotty,
Jack-
this was a RFI call, right?
Yeah.
Bond versus bond.
Tell me when you're ready for it. Yep, this jack 8 can raise, having not raised, the 10-8 raises, and then the 4-3 definitely has to call this. Definitely has to call this. Or there's that, which I don't believe is in the solver. But if you're gonna do that, I guess you're gonna continue, because you didn't intend it, you didn't intend it there. And he gets a call there, straight draw. He picks up a draw. What country is he from? All right. Well,
Well,
that's
that was on.
a
That,
hand.
that just shuts the hand down.
Oh, yeah, he's gotta fold now. He's gotta fold now. But that was a hand.
All right, ready when you are, sir.
All right, I'm gonna stop this one.
So we've got all right, can you see it?
Yep.
All right, so blind versus blind.
Yep.
Jack 10-6 two-tone. 70,000 combos versus 70,000 combos.
Exactly.
And so does he ever have six? So he doesn't really have 6-5 off in the big blind there.
No, he has a sliver. 6-5, it's not a solver breaker, it's there.
Okay. All right, and so what does small blind do?
Small blind bets his jack 9. With the
Okay, what size
9
does
of
he
hearts.
use?
He's got the jack 9. He uses a small size, very small.
Yeah, these are really complicated parts. I mean, it's like my head explodes when I look at these solves. It's hard. I mean, we're drawing from all 3 sides. We're drawing from all 4 sides, all 5 sizings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are drawing from all 5 sizings. And our jacks. Guess they're very kicker driven, as we've seen. He had jack 9 off, right?
Jack 9 off with a 9 of hearts.
Just look at his combo, jack 9, jack of hearts.
9 of hearts.
Sorry, 9 of hearts. Yeah, he
Yeah.
can do whatever he wants.
Yep. He bets small.
He chose a small bet, right?
Yep.
D2,
Yep. Which the
D33.
Yep.
2 black, big blinds. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Wrong place. Bet 2 here.
big blind has to call his 5-6.
What is 6-6 doing? So 6-6, which is the third pair, is never folding yet.
Yep. His 6-5 does some raising.
And 6-5, what, yeah, so
You got
6-5's gotta have. No, it just does it across the board, doesn't care.
He's offsuit though. He's six.
So let's look at, should we look at 6-5? Oh, you've got a
Yeah,
sliver.
it's there.
And yeah, this is gonna have to be my last hand.
Okay, good to see you, Joey. He raised,
Interesting, it likes the 6 of spades for
Yeah.
a raise.
Yeah,
and the
these are
one that-
such
oh,
complex solves.
yeah, the one that does it all the time is spade diamond. Unblocking the other guy's hearts. Doing something else that I don't understand.
Alright, so he calls, always calling his sixes.
Calls are a little bit of raising, but that's good. There we go. He calls.
Turn is the 8 of hearts.
Turn is the 8 of hearts. What does our Jack 9 do with a 9 of hearts?
I would check it.
Yeah, this seems like a big check.
What does our top pair do?
It checks.
It does check at a high frequency.
Yep.
We have to have only our best call, bet, and that's not even full frequency, so we're mostly checking.
Roll over the Jack 9 and also the ace Jack, and we'll see if you need a heart. You need a heart to bet. Yep, and it wants to be the 9 of hearts. So our combo would have been the one that did it.
Yeah.
We do it. And the ace needs, do we need the ace of hearts to bet?
We don't.
Yeah. It's kind of in there.
We like a heart to bet. We don't need one. Okay,
The diamond club combo is betting more than anything else in the ace jack.
diamond club.
Yeah, we're in the slivers here, and we're getting,
Yeah, it does.
yeah, we're threading the needle here. It's getting pretty tight. So, I'm curious. Yeah, this range is super complex because it's not polarized. It's a little polarized, but it's not really, because then we're betting from this bottom third of our equity buckets. All these ace, we're getting a lot of bluffs with the ace X. That makes sense. I could see that.
Yeah.
I could find that in game.
You don't even need, but you can do it with the ace queen of diamonds. You don't need a heart to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complex strat.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think about things that I could be smart enough to implement in game. And so the one I could definitely implement was be a polarizing size with 8 of hearts.
Yeah.
All
So
right, so
he checks the Jack 9, which is
He
now
checks-
totally reasonable.
which we've already established is a good plan,
Yep.
right?
Yep, the big
Yeah.
blind is 5-6.
And
Now,
what is
he's-
what's our 6-5 supposed to do?
I would think we're supposed to call and not, check behind. We're marginally made.
Clear. So yeah, we mix it.
Yep.
But we
Big-
mostly
let's
check.
go let's go full range height so we can actually see
Go
the,
for
see our,
actually.
yeah, there we go. Yep, so massively checking it, and with a 5 of hearts, always checking.
So I think goes into the low pair bucket.
Which has some bluffs.
Yeah, but this is gonna have like. This has a open under as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, but this one, yeah, it's mixing. So did he check back?
He
Yeah.
checked back. So far, they've both played it perfectly approved by the solver and in the majority, and also in the majority way, except for the 5-6, the original 5-6 call. But the river bet, the river sizing, we think can't be
So
right.
this is where it got interesting, right?
Yeah, the 5 of nothing came.
5 diamonds, 5 diamonds. And the question becomes, do we turn some of our, yeah, so we're gonna have lots of bluffs here. There goes check, check. In the super wide configuration. And is that originating from the ace of hearts? Ace high? Let's just start with the ace high. Let's go here.
This
That's
is a
just-
small blind range,
A what range?
small blind.
Yeah, we're looking at the small blind. The small blind's one who bet out. He has the jack nine.
So this is interesting. So blocking the straight and blocking the flush, we're going ham.
Mm-hmm.
So this is it. So we are over betting here. We're blocking the flush. We're blocking the nuts. Double blocking the nuts. We're gonna go nuts.
And which size overbet is this? Is this 135 or 300?
This is a 135 mostly, and it has a spatter in the 300.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Here we go. But it's mostly 135. Okay, cool. And
But
then
this one is turned into a bluff and
his jack nine, he essentially, who knows what he's doing, but he's supposed to block on this jack nine.
and the biggest size that he's allowed to bet is the 60%.
Yeah, but mostly he's
Mostly.
he's blocker sizing.
And if you
He
have the,
gets, so the question then becomes with our other jacks. So this to me seems like a good one because it is blocking the straight, right? So this one makes sense to bet to me. But what's like king jack do? Base jack, value betting. Well, that's a flush. Let's just go top pair. Let's just go very quickly. Top pair. Yeah, so he's always betting his top pair here.
Mhm.
And then blocker mostly, but then if he's got a really good kicker, he gets to go B60. So what size did he use in game?
interesting, well, he used pot size, but
Pot.
interestingly,
He pot.
he
All
bet
right, so
pot. But interestingly,
So-
if you look at his jack nine, when he has the heart, when he has the nine of hearts, which he has, that's what allows him to do very often his larger size, which is not as large.
yeah,
But that is the right combo to go large on, or a right combo to go large on,
but not always, which is interesting.
but not that large.
So so we'll start with a B60 and see what the two pair are supposed to do. And then we'll go B135.
Yeah.
So two pair, all is two pair. Two pair are always calling to the size.
Except for the top, except for
Yeah, good point. Except for the very
Top.
best.
almost top two.
And yeah, and then but what about a B135? B135 is not really a thing, I think, but what's he do? He often turns the 6-5 into a bluff
With the heart.
Wow,
with the heart.
and never calls. And he
Yeah.
did 90, so he should have turned it into a bluff. I mean, should have thing, but I
90s.
So-
see this. I would never see this.
So my argument would be that this size is representing probably set or better.
Mm-hmm.
So if we clear here. And clear here. That's like,
Two pair or better.
that's a set size. We have big
If you
size straight.
Click on that bet size up on the right. You'll highlight all those bets.
I don't understand why you would want to take two pair against this range instead of calling.
My only idea is that the blocking sets.
You're trying to bluff. You're trying to get a straight to fold that isn't a flush.
Yeah, you must,
With two pair.
this is an example of why this is such a complex strat.
It unblocks straights, but blocks a flush.
And block set.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, there was one other thing on this one before I lose my mind on this completely.
Yeah.
If you go back to his 60% bets, I believe, on the small blind 60% bets. Is that let's see, here he is in the small, which is the bluffs that we do. It was, oh, I think it was, maybe it was the ace jack that went big. I was like, but I was
You wanna
thinking,
see what the bluffs are?
no, what I wanted to do was, go to the small blind here. The small blind has some big ace jack betting. I think that those big offsuit ace jacks, I think they need a heart to bet big.
Yes, they like
for-
it more, but not really.
for-
But not really, man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just such a complicated
Yeah,
blind versus blind strategy.
yep, okay, cool.
Maybe one way to think about this is that I sometimes wonder if they might have taken some shortcuts when they solve blind versus blind. So if you're working with a solver, blind versus blind, 100 big blind SRP pots are incredibly compute intensive because there's so many
Yeah,
combos. I mean, it's like to solve, if you and I were to solve this with Pio, we would need 80 gigs of memory and a day.
right.
So I wonder sometimes when I look at these, if they are not solved down to the level of, what's the word I'm looking for? Exploitability
Yeah,
that we see in other sites. So
right.
like on my laptop with 16
No.
gigs of memory, I can run a 4-bet hand in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm,
But this particular hand, if you ran it in a solver, it would take a day and 80 gigs.
right.
GTO Wizards runs everything down to 0.2,
Thank you, Joey.
and they use Munker.
Okay, cool. All right.
Is
So
this fall talking about this where it's such an unusual situation where that 6-5 is kind of a sliver thing, that they use the sliver thing to go crazy?
I was more talking about,
That's true too. They never have it. They never have it. So. Yeah. It is 3 hours, so we're gonna go to, we're gonna play one more hand where I'm in and then be done.
all right.
That is our usual ending. Okay, let's see. So this hand was just fun. This was a leveling war. Do not know what, I guess just picked up equity and said, I'm just willing to go with this much equity. All right. Fold around to the nines to take it. Ace queen raises and takes it. Fold around. King 5 raises, king queen should 3-bet him. Ace 4 should fold. None of it's me. Raise, 3-bet, fold, and the king 5 needs to fold. Does the king 5 fold there? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. For that size, yeah. Yeah. I think there's a lot of the kings that continue there. That's what surprises. The amount that continue always surprised me.
That king 6 is often one of those solver special type deals.
Yeah. Button raises, small blind goes 12, comes back to the button with his king. Yeah, they all fold up to the 9. There it is. Okay, great. King queen raises, and the 5s should fold. If he plays a calling strategy, then he can call with them. And he plays a calling strategy. And does that bring my Jack 10 in? If this was limit poker, it would, because of the pot odds I'm getting. But I have learned that it doesn't. Check, bet, fold. Oh, check, check. Calling range. Check, bet, fold. There we go. Ace, queen, raise, 7-7, mostly call, which could easily let the 6s call incorrectly behind to try to set mine and bring the 9-10 in. This hand could go badly. There's the raise to 2.5. There's the call. This is not a correct call here. But I take it, and
I think if you are not with the risk of,
Your sixes in the small blind, I bet you can flat.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I know me.
I think I'd flat here.
Oh,
I mean,
goody, you're
I
allowed
think
to.
it's correct to flat. Yeah,
It is. I can do that.
I mean, your implied odds.
I can
Okay,
also do that.
I'm down with that too.
Yep, that's also there.
You're finding you're playing some good poker here, man.
Right. Now the 10-9 suited has to fold. The ace queen suited has to not fold.
what about, oh, you 3-bet. Oh my goodness.
I squeezed it.
Nice.
I
Nice.
squeezed it. The
I thought
14
maybe
big
you were gonna
blind.
call and then the 10-9 could be squeezing, I wonder. But yeah, anyway,
Let's
go on,
take
sorry.
a look at that. So when I raise, the small blind is, oh, hold on. Let's see what his original size is, 2.5. Let's put this up to 2.5. Change. Opening size 2.5. Here we go. There's our raise, there's our call. So the small blind size is 15. I go to 14. All right. So not perfect, but it is. Now, if I call instead, which I'm allowed to do, the 9-10 jumps in there and squeezes pure.
Look at that squeeze range with a raise and 2 callers.
Yeah, this is important to see. I mean, it's important to find this. It's hard for me to
Yeah.
find.
Yeah. This is easy.
Like the top half of this range, I
This-
will find in game, right?
This is hard.
But the bottom half, it's hard to find.
This right here.
I turn these into calls.
Yeah.
And that's probably not right.
This is gangster. This is findable and also fold. This one you can find. The ace jack. But the jack 9, the 10-9,
Yeah, I don't find those.
queen,
But I'd like to.
that's good. Yeah. All right. I go 14. I was supposed to go 15. Supposed to go 15. Good enough. Fold. Hey, what a great hand to end on.
That is crazy. What a great hand to end on.
Yes.
Ace
I'm-
queen. So this, yeah, it just these squeezes work. They look so strong.
Cool. We do this live every Monday and Tuesday. Mondays we do 11:15 Pacific time. Tuesdays we do 9:15 Pacific time. You guys are invited. If you need to find it, we'll put a link in the chat to the Discord channel where it goes, and then you'll be able to see it on YouTube. That's what we'll do. I'll do that right now. Or
Do
maybe
you
I'll-
guys
Hey,
have the
guys.
recordings somewhere to review them again later?
Yep, Liz, the recordings are all in the Discord, in the thread that it came in. Do you go to poker coaching, poker study for you, or do you go to the poker coaching Discord? Which one are you on?
I'm not even sure if I'm connected to those at
Well,
all
I'll
anymore.
show-
So I know Louis
I'll
used
show
to
you
put
what-
it on YouTube and I don't even see those anymore. Did he stop doing that too?
No, I put these up on YouTube. Give me.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that now, and then I'll show you the spots. Show everybody. Okay,
Oh, good. Thank you so much.
there's
Yeah,
that.
did you find this session in Discord?
What happened? I don't know. I just saw it on the notification.
Yeah,
Does
it's the
that-
same place. I'll show you where it is.
Okay.
But the thing we were trying to put up here was, the Discord link. So Discord, go to Discord, go to either Poker Study for You
Okay.
there, or go to the Poker Coaching Discord. And in both places, we put the links there. And after we do the link, I will stick right in this one. Like if we go to the earlier one here, studies, the Cash Game Study Group. Here we go. Cash Game Study Group. And then once I do it, I'll post the link right there to the YouTube of it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was really fun
What is
to
the
for you guys.
Yeah.
what is the poker
Was-
study for you Discord? What's that?
Oh, I'll show it to you in a second.
I've just
That's
learned of it.
the Louis Philippe things. But the girl, are you trying to get better at cash games or tournaments? Because Louis Philippe is mostly all tournaments.
Yeah, both, either, any.
Both.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whatever
Okay.
I can do, I'm in a place that we don't have a poker room right now, so I'm just trying to study what I think I might be able to play eventually. And
Also,
I think-
we're doing it again
think-
tomorrow.
We're doing it again tomorrow.
Yeah, I work and I guess my power's back, so I have to work tomorrow, but at least I can listen to these after. So
Awesome.
that's very helpful.
So let me stop the recording there. Bye, everybody.